one of the
buy
questions
things.
I get very often is, am I paid enough?
Am I paid fairly?
Am I paid fairly?
Is it equitable? Am I underpaid compared to my colleagues?
Am I fairly paid compared to my peers
And I'm looking at all these newbies coming in
who are earning 6,000,
who are
7,000 entry
making
level
who are making more
salary?
than what I am currently taking home
Yes.
as a new joiner.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 2025. This is Adrian and Yen on our Career Success Show, and this is the first episode of the year. How are you doing, Yen?
Happy New Year to everybody. I'm doing. I guess I'm okay. Another year. Where did 2024 go? So
Yes.
so my hesitation in answering your question. I mean, I'm not one of those who's going to be like completely exuberant all the time because I'm real, and I don't like that fake like, hey, Happy New Year. How's it going?
No, I'm hoping for a happy new year, because 2024 was kind of rough for me. For us, actually,
But
because
the year is also quite long, isn't it?
yeah, I know.
So
So 2024 was rough because we
was
had so much to
bumpy.
do. It was bumpy.
It was
we were developing our CoachCarol.ai. By the way, it's our new career assessment tool. If you want to have a look at it, please feel free to jump on CoachCarol.ai and do your career assessment health check and find out how healthy you are.
I repeat, CoachCarol.ai. That's
Yes.
it. Really easy to remember. And it's also very easy to use. Answer a series of questions and then you'll get access to all the career indicators that will give you some ideas of what to focus on for 2025.
Yeah, we've even put in a whole bunch of sample CVs you can refer to. It's just quite silly. I see a lot of other places put templates in, font templates. It doesn't matter. It's the text that matter, right?
And then you can use ChatGPT to fill in the blanks.
Yes, correct. And we also have our own training videos on how to land your dream job, how to navigate your career crossroad. And of course, lots of career resources for you like salary negotiation guides and job hunting guides.
Again, just backing up on the resume thing. If you're going to use ChatGPT, be really, really careful because we can see that you're saying a lot of nothing. So just again, be really careful with it. But I've taken a lot of time and effort to put together actual samples with real achievement bullets that I think would be great reference for all of you. So the sentence structure is there. The quality of the writing is also, Yen approved.
Yes. So what that means is that Yen actually handcrafted those CVs.
I didn't handcraft. They're real.
Hand typed.
They're real samples.
They're real actual sample CVs of real individuals, which we have blanked out, which you can use as references.
And they're amalgamated so that and sanitized in a way but the purpose again, these are real roles.
Yeah.
Like real. They're not fake.
Correct.
Yeah.
So go to CoachCarol.ai and have a go at it. You can use the promo code which we have over there, and go ahead and use it and tell us how you like it and how you feel about it. Okay,
Yeah, we'd like some feedback.
There'll be lots of interesting updates we're going to do. But today we're not just going to talk about CoachCarol.ai, or we're not going to keep mentioning CoachCarol.ai because CoachCarol.ai as a product placement. No, just kidding.
We should have a signboard or
we
something.
will have. I shall digitally put one in CoachCarol.ai.
Yeah, and we'll keep
we shall
putting it in the
animate
middle.
Coach Carol.
QR code and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, enough talking about CoachCarol.ai. Okay. Today we want to talk about career health because after the feasting that happened in end of December
Yes.
for Christmas,
And
I'm
don't forget
feeling
the New Year.
unhealthy and fat.
I'm not.
I am. Okay. It was more the alcohol and
Oh,
stuff.
we did imbibe, but not too much. We don't drink anything hard. But me and my family, we had some magoli, and we had some cider. With every meal leading from Christmas all the way to the 1st of January, just to celebrate
That's
every
light
meal.
and that's nice.
And I made a tomahawk, and
that's so
I've been
nice.
I've been doing a lot.
So we've been sinning. Okay, being a bit
you've
for me,
been sinning.
unhealthy food and
yeah.
stuff. So I think for 2025, I'm going to refocus on health. And even as we talk about our own physical health, we want to talk about career health because career health is a very critical component that many of us do not realize. Because I want to share something interesting that happened to me a couple of years back, more than 15 years ago. I had a health scare.
Couple of 15. That's a
Couple of
big
15
difference.
years ago. I had a health scare, and I was signing up for an insurance package, and they sent me for medical. And
So you had no symptoms.
no symptoms because high blood pressure is a silent killer, right?
It is.
Yeah, and my BP was about 170 over
But you had
110.
no breathlessness.
Nothing. I was just.
So you were lucky because you
I
found
was
it when
lucky.
you
I
were
caught
young.
it. The doctor wanted to send me to the A&E straight away, but I went on meds and everything. And I'm glad to say today my BP is normal without medications. It was just corrective steps I needed to take. But I
It's
shudder to
lifestyle.
think
Yeah.
what would have happened if it was not caught then. I would probably be in a vegetative state right now, and you'll be talking to
Maybe you'll have
a
a stroke or
cardboard
two.
cutout. Yeah, probably or three. So it was dangerous. So the thing about career health and our health is that sometimes we do take it for granted. And if
Yeah.
you do not know what to look out for, it could have severe repercussions, right?
There's a lot of similarities, your own physical health
Mm-hmm.
as well as your career health. But between the two, your physical health comes first.
Of course.
I mean, that's your priority because without actual health, then, your career is not going to happen.
True.
But there's a lot of similarity in that it is something that you need to do. It's something that you need to manage and you need to be aware of. But it's not something that's going to be conscious. Like it's not an everyday affair.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, although there are habits that we can inculcate
Yeah.
to ensure
Like eating
that we're
right,
healthy,
exercising,
like 15
twice,
minutes
3
a
times
day.
a week. Yeah.
Put something together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. That there's a lot of similarity in managing both your physical
Yeah.
and your career health, and it becomes a regret if it becomes something that's neglected.
And you're right.
So you have to just kind of manage it. But the point is that it's not a fun thing to do.
That's true. That's true.
It's not fun.
That's true.
So
Exercise
the
is not
truth
fun.
is,
Diet is
so
not fun.
if you're also following my newsletter that I write once a month, I mentioned taking care of the unpleasant tasks. Just take care of it. And so the moment I wrote that paragraph, I'm like, okay. So me and the husband, we got together. I was like, okay, we need to make an appointment for our health checkup. So
That reminds me.
we've booked a session after
That reminds
the
me, my
Chinese New Year.
colonoscope is due.
Thank you for TMI.
Anyway,
TMI. So
I'll send you
again,
videos.
I just want to say to our listeners, it's not like career health. We're here nagging at everyone and talking about career health. And I know that most people are going like, but I'm doing fine. It's not something I want to like, I'm not
Yeah.
another item on my
That's true.
another item on my plate that's
A lot of
already
people tend to
full.
push away the health issue
they can down the road.
until it gets to a point where it's
Yes.
it becomes a health scare. So
Or it becomes a crisis,
Yeah.
a major one because a new leader landed and suddenly he's changing things up and you realize that you're left out in the cold.
true.
Yeah.
So what are some of the indicators? I mean, if you talk about our physical health, you've got a blood pressure, you've got your cholesterol level, you've got all these pieces. What are some of the career health indicators we need to look at?
There are so many.
A
So
lot.
Coach Carol AI.
Yeah, CoachCarol.ai.
CoachCarol.ai measures about 18. And it gives a sense of where you are and whether or not you're on track. So the benefit of taking a career health check is that it has to be aligned to your goals. So if it's something you really want, then those indicators need to be going in that direction. It's not quite a health checkup, is it? Because the health checkup is like BP.
Yeah.
To make sure your cardio health is all right, or you make sure that your cancer markers are non-existent, right?
Yeah.
So in the same way, we have over 18 indicators, but the top one would be, how do you feel about your career today? Are you happy at work? Look at all the other major things, like whether or not you feel you're being paid enough. Because to me, I don't know, money is really important as well.
Everyone's money. To everyone, the money is important, right?
And there's so many more. So what would be your top 3?
I think the career wellness overall, there's a score called career wellness, which basically measures composite of how happy you are with the work that you do,
I think
the
happiness
people,
more
that
than
your
wellness.
team. Yeah, happiness more happiness than wellness. No, happiness means that how you feel about the job.
Yes.
But the money. And everything. Wellness means how happy you are, as well as how prepared are you for disruption.
Yeah.
So wellness is more like a fitness
This is
level.
the thing, right? It's like, am I prepared for something that may not happen? And with just regular human mindsets, like, I think I can be deluded into thinking that, nah, it's not gonna happen.
No, but you see,
my company's not gonna restructure. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you see, and that's why it's not about the known knowns, it's about the
Unknown
unknowns,
unknowns.
right? And then you get
Yeah.
hit by something like a retrenchment,
Yeah.
or a new boss comes in who's an a-hole, who wants to put his old team in and displace you and stuff like that.
So many of
it's
those
so
horror
many
stories.
horror stories which we see on almost a weekly basis from
All
our
the time.
clients. Yeah.
All the time.
So it's arrogant, if you ask me, to assume that you will not get hit by any of
It's
these.
not arrogance. It's
It's complacency.
no, it's not.
What is it?
It's blissful ignorance.
Ostrich
Because
syndrome.
as long as it's not happening, it's not going to be happening to me. Oh yeah, there's an earthquake in a neighboring country. Yeah, no, the earthquake's not going to happen here.
But it won't happen in
No,
Singapore.
sorry again to all our listeners out there. Your career health is important.
Yeah.
Please pay attention to the markers so that you can be agile in managing anything that comes along, and just to be prepared. I guess the idea here is to be hoping for the best but preparing for the worst.
Gee, that sounds like 2025 for me.
You
know, one thing that's funny.
Strengthen your roof,
Yeah.
like plug all the leaks.
The one thing that's funny, my in my career, because by and large, if you look at it, I've always been running my own business, so to speak. Even when I was headhunting, I was on a full commission.
Yeah.
So I always start the year worrying, but I end the year happy.
Nice.
So, but I always start the year with like, oh shucks, no, this year, oh no, we're gonna do this, gonna do that. What if I don't? What if that happens? And then I take action. For me, if I don't worry, I don't take action.
So my strategy, which is different than you because you're Mr. Spontaneous, Mr. Last Minute, and I don't know if you really follow the calendar year. But my strategy as a headhunter is I run on a different quarter. So my personal quarter always ends a month before the actual quarter ends. So my year ends, and I always have pipeline.
Oh, okay.
Because I was on a full commission as well. Same as you.
Okay.
Yeah. I always have pipeline. So it's about keeping that momentum going and not taking your foot off the pedal. And in the same way, like
a discipline
I
thing,
don't
isn't it?
like exercise. I generally don't like sweating, and I don't like getting heart rate up and getting breathless. So I figured out a happy way of just doing 15 minutes, 20 minutes of yoga every day. And it kind of like, that's all I need. You know?
That's all you need,
it's
actually.
about, I don't like those steep amplitudes of
Yeah,
stress.
like the high intensity hit down stuff.
No.
Oh, me no. Me just cycle for 2 or 3
So
hours.
in the same
and that's
vein,
about
when it comes to my career, when it comes to anything in my life, I don't like huge crisis. Like extreme happiness and then like really low downturns. I know. I keep everything kind of on the
So that's
stable
why
key.
I think one of my favorite career indicators is basically how happy you are at work or how satisfied you are with the work that you do.
Content. I think contentment.
And I think it's important because that's what we turn up for work to. So for under coachcarol.ai, what we do is we measure two areas. Okay, number one is when you're at work, how happy are you with your boss and your colleagues? Because that affects your overall mood and joy at work as well. So we measure that. We also measure the work that you do, because if the work that you're doing is painful or you don't like it, it's not something that's up your alley, you don't enjoy doing it, or you don't see any meaning in it. So I had this client once, I don't even remember her. She was in finance and she says that every month I do the reports, mindless, brainless. And I said, that's what you're in finance for. You signed up for this.
It's a repetitive task.
It is a repetitive task.
Which is important.
Yeah, which is important, and you have to be consistent at it.
Yes.
And she didn't like it. And we told her, then why do you pivot to something else if you really don't like it? And she found out that she actually was good at it. She didn't like it, but it paid the bills. So that's where you are. So if you come to terms with it, and I think it's okay, but you have to understand where your career happiness, your work happiness is. And CoachCarol.ai actually measures that as well.
And I feel like while it measures it, it doesn't become your entire world. It helps you to process the reality of that, okay, the tasks that I don't exactly hate are paying the bills. And so you get to your why, and it helps you to compartmentalize, and it helps you to also give your brain space to do other things that are more important and more fun. So then you know that the work. So what we're trying to say is that, the measurements don't have to be gospel. And it doesn't mean you're doomed if you don't get a good score. It's just an indication that, it validates the fact that maybe you're not getting all of your, happiness and joy from work. But that's okay.
That's okay.
Because you can get your happiness and joy from other things.
Food.
Like
alcohol. No, not alcohol.
Yeah,
But okay,
volunteer
the point.
work and giving back to the society
But the
and
point
all
is
the
this:
wonderful things.
if you do get a low score on your work contentment scale,
Yeah.
then you can ask yourself, what can I do to improve my work joy, work contentment? Okay, maybe you're just bored with your own work, and maybe it's time you embarked on a new project at work.
Yes.
Maybe you can expand your scope, and maybe you can farm out the pieces that you don't like.
So that part of the analysis is not going to come from coachcarol.ai. It's going to come from, some awareness you process, and of course you can talk to us.
Yes.
So if you are a subscriber to coachcarol.ai, I think there's a little perk that we're doing only for this season. You get to come and have a chat with us
At a special rate.
for a lower
Yeah,
cost.
a much special rate.
Yeah.
And Coach Carol
so that
also...
we can help you to kind of look at the data
Yeah.
and figure out what's next, because everything is contextualized.
Yes.
And everyone's different because our age is different, our stage in life is different, our
Yeah.
families are different, industry is different. Yeah.
But Coach Carol also has some recommendation engine for you
Yes.
to give you some ideas on how you can handle. If you don't like the work that you're doing, it can provide you some ideas as to what you can do, how to handle it. Down the road, we are looking at other interesting options that are available, because Coach Carol for us is a product that is evolving.
Yeah.
And the version 2 and the version 3s we have on our product roadmap is going to be really even more exciting. So try the version 1.0 right
Plugging
now.
so hard.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. But
Plugging so hard.
but back to career health, okay, the thing I really find very important for us is that you have to understand what you're unhappy with. Because sometimes when we get clients coming in, they say that I'm not happy with my work.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with my job. Then why? What? How?
Yeah, in the same way, a lot of clients go, I don't know what I want next. I don't know what's next.
Tell me. Tell me what to do.
Whenever I ask someone like, so where do you see your career headed, and what's the immediate next step? Let's just forget about the long-term plan for a minute, right? It's like immediate next step. And they'll go, well, I used to. So they end up looking back at what they used to do and utilizing those as clues for their next step, when actually that equation might be flawed. Because what you used to do may not survive, may not be sustainable, or what you used to do, maybe you don't enjoy anymore.
Yeah.
So I find that a lot of people have a hard time trying to articulate what they really, really want for a variety of reasons. It could be because they're afraid,
true.
or it could be because they don't know what's going on.
So what can you say about how do you manage the work environment if you're not happy with the work environment?
Come talk to us. Because I get these very broad questions. And for example, with my newsletter, the question that came up was, how do you practice how to say no? And in my head, I was going, gosh, that's like a 4-hour lecture, if more. And there are tons of books that you can read because context matters. So what can I say about the work environment? I have so much that's going through my mind right now, but there's no one answer that fits everyone, because it's not free size.
Just come talk to us.
So reach out to us if you do feel like you need some perspective. We're not expensive. We have career clinics. We go to one-off sessions. Go to our website and just book a time.
That's right. One of my favorite topics I always encounter
Money.
is money. It's all about the money.
It is, isn't it? Because it's the lifeblood. It gives us a chance to
And one of the
buy
questions
things.
I get very often is, am I paid enough?
Am I paid fairly?
Am I paid fairly?
Is it equitable? Am I underpaid compared to my colleagues?
Am I fairly paid compared to my peers
And I'm looking at all these newbies coming in
who are earning 6,000,
who are
7,000 entry
making-
level
who are making
salary?
more than what I am currently taking home
Yes.
as a new joiner. Because like
Ouch.
money is like an open secret, isn't it?
Yes.
It's supposed to be.
and the problem is
kept
money
confidential.
and the problem is money is emotional.
It is emotional.
It's emotional. People throw logic and reason out the moment they talk about money, because
Especially if it's my money.
Yeah, it's my money. You see, if
Yeah.
it's OPM, other people's money is fine.
Yeah.
But if it's my money, it's my money. So that's why. So we get questions like, am I paid fairly? And I think it's a very loaded question, because there are so many variables that go into the salary equation. For instance, how's your work-life balance?
There are many non-monetary considerations.
Yes, non-monetary. But
Yeah.
even the monetary considerations is like, are you being paid? I think at the end of the day, for me, the question I want to ask clients is, are you being paid a respectful amount for the work that you're putting in and the value you're creating?
I also like to think about how much would make sense for me to get out of bed, to go into the office, and And again, there are many, many non-monetary considerations which we
Correct.
should break down
Yeah.
because there are hidden perks and there are hidden costs. And a lot of
Yes.
people think about just the cash component,
Yeah.
but they forget about the subscriptions and the training and the
Yes.
allowances and
Yes.
the tax breaks, possibly.
And a free
you know,
coffee in
and
the pantry.
a wonderful pantry.
Yes. The free Julie biscuits
So,
and Panda
Coach-
biscuits which you can bring home
Coach
for
Carol,
your kids.
CoachCarol.ai can give you some perspective.
Yeah. In fact, we are going to talk about this salary piece in one of our future episodes
In more detail.
because it's a huge chunk of things we need to digest. We want to break down the components. For instance, the work that you do, the nature of the industry, how do I get more money?
And the value you bring in.
Yeah. So just 2 days ago, I was talking to this individual who was asking me, how do I want a job that pays me more.
Yeah, right. So
And
do
she was in sales.
And the question is, to what extent do you need to sacrifice your time and your health?
And it's
To
fine
make
because she's
more.
young. No, she's young and she's energetic. Okay.
Wonderful.
So she said, I want a job that pays me more.
Good.
I want my boss to pay me more. How do I ask for more? And I said, what's your job? She says, I'm in sales. I said,
Nice.
sell more.
Yes.
If you sell more, okay, if you bring in $500,000 of sales a year, and you go to the boss and you ask for a 20% increase, or even you just shift
You
it,
just need a commission, a better
put on a
commission,
commission basis.
and an accelerator.
Correct. So, but the whole idea is this: if you want to get more money, you have to increase the value that you can bring to the table. And if your boss doesn't want to give it to you, go somewhere else. Take your business elsewhere, buddy.
But there's also many other things.
So
like
many other
question about
considerations.
margins.
Yeah.
If you're selling a low value item, for every $1 that you bring in, the margin is like less than 1%.
Yeah.
Then you wonder whether the effort is worth it.
Is it worth it, right? Is it worth it? So
Yeah.
I think one of the things that we need to monitor for our career health is the salary piece as well. Are you being paid fairly at this point in time? Have you always been paid fairly? Case in point, if you have been working in a company for 15 to 18 years, chances are you're not being paid that fairly. Possibly.
Especially if you have not been promoted
Yeah.
over those years.
Because there's a loyalty penalty.
Yes.
That's what we
Yeah,
always
yeah,
say. If you're
yeah.
staying too long, as opposed to someone who moves around. So as part of your career health check, you need to keep monitoring your salary levels. Is it up to the level which you think you're fairly paid? Or has your salary not moved for the past 7-8 years?
So I'm going to cut you off at this point. So because you did mention we're going to do this in
Yes, we're
greater
not going
detail.
to
So
steal the thunder for
and,
next episode.
it's not about stealing the thunder, it's about taking up too much time.
She's getting bored. Okay, she's
and
getting bored.
he's just like nagging. But anyway, let's go. Next.
So-
What's the next indicator we want to discuss?
I think in terms of resilience, how resilient you are to shocks and to changes in the environment.
I feel like it is hormonal. My resilience is very, very high when things are going well, when I feel good or when I have a good mood. And my resilience is always going to be a little bit lower. Unless
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
that's
using,
true.
I'm
That-
using
no, no,
the
you're
word,
using
I'm using the word
resistance,
resilient. No, I'm using the word resilient.
Immunity to
Resilience as like a shield, like a force field, like Star Trek episodes. I don't know. And again, the thing about CoachCarol.ai is that it's a snapshot, just like your blood pressure. Just because your doctor gave you a clean bill of health today, it doesn't mean that tomorrow you're going to
Live
still have the same score.
or live forever.
So, just because your resilience score might be a little bit lower, maybe because you're not in a good mood and you're doing the questionnaire. But yeah, I mean, it is about your ability to handle disruptions and changes.
Yeah.
Not everyone enjoys, managing change.
I hate change.
Yeah.
I actually hate change.
I think it gets
think
worse
most
with
people
age.
do not like change.
But
if
it
you
gets
ask me.
worse with age.
So I told you, I just bought my wife a new iPhone and she hates it. She's been an Android user for the past 200 years since the birth of Android.
That's funny.
And she hates it. She's still cussing and swearing at. Why
In the
is this
same
what-
way,
what's-
you cannot find it in your soul to even bother thinking about getting a Mac.
Yeah, no Mac
So
for
he's
me.
on Windows. He's changed two PCs in the time that I've had my Mac
Three.
for 6 years. MacBook users are best
Yeah. So
So we're
change
not
is-
friends.
So
because he Android.
So it's very important for you to build your resilience, to build your immunity to disruptions. Okay, I would
Maybe
say.
it's just a mindset. Maybe it's about processing.
Yeah, but also in terms of having options A, options
Yes.
B.
If you have backups and you have backups and you have backup to the backup,
Correct.
I think
I think you should be safe.
Yeah.
So Coach Carol actually helps you to put that into perspective. If you have a low career disruption score, Coach Carol will actually give you some advice on what you can do. For instance, improve your networking, improve your skill sets, make sure they're relevant, and to move away from being what we call a career panda, someone who is not very agile or adaptable.
I'm just listening to you and how, as my brain is processing what you are actually saying, it's quite high level.
It's
so high level. It's
It
like,
is. That's
how
what-
do you build resilience? Oh, just do more networking. And I'm internally just rolling my eyes, and I can feel our listeners doing the same. So again,
Come talk to us.
the devil's in the details. Context matters. You need to be able to own it and figure out what works for you, because not all of us are natural networkers, and if you do have a superpower, good for you. A lot of us are introverts, and again, generally we hate networking, don't we? Okay lah, no, he likes networking, I don't. So I'm critiquing Adrian's comments because it feels like the superficial crap that we hear all the time, but it's true. We have to start somewhere. So
She's feeling bad for criticizing me that badly.
it's I'm trying to like backtrack a little bit,
trying to
but
be nice to
I'm
me.
hearing how he's like trying to tell the camera.
But to be fair, I'm an extreme extrovert.
It is
so
a
that
high level
matters a lot.
advice. It is high level advice. And I want to address and acknowledge that a lot of the things that you're going to get online is very high level. That's why you get the conversations, so that we can help you within your own specific issues. Yeah.
So come talk to us if you have any career challenges. What we're trying to say here is pay attention to your career health, because if no health, no wealth. Literally.
Yeah. Physical health, and so you have your abilities. I don't know. Sometimes it just takes one little bug.
Yeah, actually,
and it
it
completely
just
throws you
knocks
for a
off.
loop.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was sick the whole of December. I was getting bug after bug. There was a sore throat bug, followed by a runny nose bug, followed by an eye bug. And then I had the big one, the influenza, that completely knocked me out for a few days.
That was bad.
And I was feeling unwell. And because I was unwell, even the nice things, I couldn't get any joy out of it. Like the meals were tasteless. You know what I mean?
True. And sometimes
and it was over Christmas season, and I was making a clam bake type seafood bake, and I knew it was my favorite ever because I know it works. It's garlic butter seafood with corn and sausage, and I was like, and then we had margoli to go with it, and I was like, okay, it's nice, but I'm not.
It was not there.
100%, and at the back of my mind, I go like, better not eat too much because
gonna get put you in a bad place.
Yeah, it's gonna take me back. Yeah.
So and I think one thing is that if your career health indicators are not good, then maybe you should take a step back and take a break. Like what you did. You recovered from your flu just by resting. And now you're 100% again.
I'm not quite there yet. I'm still
Right,
doing.
you're looking 100%. So that's good.
Thank you.
Yes, you're looking
Makeup
100%.
works.
So if you have any problems, come talk to us. But if you want to have a go at coachcarol.ai, very simple. Just go to coachcarol.ai and do the test. It's 30 questions. It's very quick to do. You get a free report. And if you upgrade, you get a whole bunch of goodies as well.
Yeah, there's a whole dashboard behind that.
It's amazing. And the dashboard keeps growing.
It's currently on a special promo. Because we are going to, when we officially launch it, then the price is going to be readjusted.
Yes.
So
correct.
I recommend that you get on board
So
now. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm trying not to plug too much.
But we are.
Because
So anyway, but it's really cool and fun app to use. Okay, so anyway, just go for it. And in the meantime, have a great week ahead. And we're looking forward to the next episode of Career Success with Adrian and Yen.
Happy January and Happy New Year, and here's to a good start.
Keep calm and career on.